Welcome once again to A.O.S Academy's YouTube channel. Thank you very much once again for joining us for this wonderful Q&A session titled Talk with A.O.S. As you know, we have been having series of questions being asked by attendees of our webinar, and we have had about 80 different questions being asked, and we cannot necessarily finish or tackle each of those problems during our webinar session. So as a result of that, we set up this Talk with A.O.S series in order to explain in details the questions that a lot of you have been asking, giving responses to them, and trying to, you understand, meet at a point of equilibrium your own understanding and our own experiences with people that have actually done it and how they have done theirs. And today is not going to be different. We are going to be answering another question from Olufunmito Bolaji, and this is the 15th question. He asked that is it necessary to get married to my spouse before starting the JAPA process? For people that don't know the JAPA or who are not Nigerians or Africans who know it, JAPA basically means migration. Now, he said, is it necessary to get married to my spouse before starting the JAPA process? Or can we just start without the marriage thing? I would like to do a change of name. Would you advise I do it before starting the JAPA process? Or is it possible for me to change it when I get to Canada with my wife? Now, thank you, Bolaji, for asking that brilliant question. I would say the question is one question that if you don't have a good insight or good explanation about before you start, in fact, it could be a reason why you are going to be rejected, you understand, for your relocation purpose, either for study visa or for permanent residency, especially when two applicants are involved. Do you understand? So, the first question saying or asking, is it necessary to get married to your spouse before starting the JAPA process? I would say, plain blank, it's not necessary for you to get married. You understand, with your spouse. Thank God you use the word spouse or you use the word partner. It shows that you people are very close. It shows that you people have something going, your relationship. Congrats on that. And it also shows that you are planning towards, you understand, settling down together. And that is, or those are the key points that we as migration representatives really need to know when we want to work with an applicant like you. Well, since I said it is not necessary, and it's not even me that states that, it is IRCC, Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, that states that you don't necessarily need to. There's another kind of application people like you, people in this bracket, can actually use to relocate to Canada. And that bracket or that pathway is popularly known as the Common Law Partnership Pathway. And in fact, I'll tell you plain blank now, a lot of clients that we have assisted have also used the common law, you understand, pathway to relocate with their girlfriends, you understand, with their so-called second wives, do you understand, or first wives, and with people that basically are not even, you understand, having that, you understand, that kind of romantic relationship, because in Canada they just need something that is said to be a conjugal relationship, and conjugal relationship doesn't necessarily need to have that romantic side to it. So if you as a person and your spouse or your partner, so to speak, can show proof that two of you have lived together for just 1 year together, do you understand? It suffices for you for your what? For your relocation to Canada. I'll still explain that in a bit, but I want to also continue. You said, or can we just start without the marriage thing? Yes, and a big yes. You can start without your marriage, because if you are wanting to relocate with the use of your marriage, you understand, you need to get a certificate, and it doesn't end there. Legally, you and that your spouse, do you understand, or your spouse, say to speak, will need to actually change name. And I thank God that you also said that I would like to do a change of name. Yes, you can do a change of name, but I won't advise. You understand? Just as you asked me, would you advise I do it before the JAPA process? I won't advise that. That would be a very wrong move on your path. And the reason is not far-fetched. If you are to change your name now note it, your change of name is just going to be on the newspaper to show that yes, okay, you have changed your name, because they will have to show a publication for it. You understand, in the newspaper. But throughout your application process for migration, if you are to take, for instance, migrate through the provincial nominee route or program, or even the study visa program, you would need to submit your past documents. And when I'm talking about past documents, I'm talking about firstly your education. You would need to show your proof of education, be it the secondary, you understand, the tertiary, bachelor's or master's, you understand, and we need to show what we call the educational credential assessment. And all these would need the, what do they call it, the name that you used in your school or you used during your program in your institution, and that name is going to reflect what, your previous name. Do you understand? So as a result of that, if it reflects your previous name, you would now, and you want it to reflect your new name, you would have to go back to all those schools one by one. Do you understand? In fact, many people don't recognize or don't realize it, that for instance, if your name is like my name, Aziz, and I, for instance, wrote AZEEZ in my credentials, maybe in my bachelor's degree I wrote AZEEZ, but in my secondary school program or certificate I wrote AZIZ, the Canadian body will state it categorically that those are certificates of two different people. Even if your surname is the same, Shoderu, Aziz, your middle name is the same, Olanraju, you have the same age, that doesn't concern them. They will state that it is, or they are two, you understand, two certificates for two different people. So in order to rectify that, you would have to go to that school that gave you the name with maybe AZIZ, if that is not what is your international passport or your, you understand, birth certificate. You would have to tell them to go and change all those IZIZ to EEZ. So it's as serious as that. So if you are changing your name from maybe like Joshua to Daniel, you know that that is even completely different. So you cannot even tell them anything at all. So I would not advise you to start changing your name before your job. If you have the, you understand, the plan to really relocate, or if it's just that, but if it's just that you're just thinking of it, that okay, I might relocate, then no problem. But if you really have the plan to relocate like as fast as possible, you understand, don't do it. Now you can go to Canada with your wife being your common law partner, or even, and that's the difference between marriage and common law partnership. You can even go with someone that is not even your wife, as I said, or not having a romantic relationship with you. You can go with even your same sex, a boy and a boy being common law partners of each other, a girl and a girl being common law partners of each other. You understand? So far, they are above 18 or 22 years in some cases. Do you understand? So if you want to change your name, get to Canada first before you change your name. Get to Canada first, get married in Canada after, before you change your name. And I hope that answers the question. So if you have any further questions based on that or clarifications, you can reach out to me on my representative phone number, 081 That's our Nigerian number, and our Canadian number too as well. I've not memorize that. You can also check that on the description section of this video. And thank you very much. You can reach out to us on WhatsApp as well on any of those numbers, be it the Nigerian or the Canadian. And you can send me an email on admin@aosacademy.com, or also even watch our webinar replay where we talked extensively about common law partnership and rights of people to JAPA to Canada. Thank you once again, and I do hope to see you in the next Q&A session.